a wonderful stand-up comedian, a great storyteller, going to tell you a story tonight. Put your hands together for Doug Powell!
How's everybody doing tonight? Thanks for coming out. You look like a really attractive crowd, and that is beneficial to all of us. I'm going to start off with a story tonight. This is a new story I've been working on. So when I was a kid, I wanted two things more than anything. I wanted my own dog was one thing. I had dogs growing up, but they weren't my dog. My dad picked them out, my mom picked them out. I wanted that relationship that Corey Haim had with his dog Nanook in The Lost Boys. If you haven't seen The Lost Boys, it's pretty lame. You should have seen that by now. He had this really amazing relationship with this husky named Nanook, and they fought vampires together. And I was just like, that's what I want. You never know when you're going to face vampires. So the other thing that I wanted more than anything was to fall in love, and it was kind of a secret thing. That's disgusting. I want you to knock it off right now. So about 7 years ago, I swing by this adoption, this SPCA dog adoption, and I'm just kind of window shopping. And I know what I'm looking for, and I see this crate, and there are these chow mixes in the crate, and they're puppies. So they want your attention, and they're in your face. But there's this one dog sitting in the back of the crate, and he doesn't give a shit that I'm there. He's like just looking off, and I'm like, I walk around the crate, and I'm kind of like, hey buddy, what are you doing? And he will not make eye contact with me. He just is ignoring me, and I thought he might be deaf, so I asked the lady, like, is this dog deaf? And she's like, no, actually, he does that to people. He's kind of a weirdo. And I was like, I'll take it. I named him Nanook. And together we are ready for the vampire reckoning that is coming. He's a cool dog. He's just a really cool dog. He's a chow, which means he's Chinese, so he's a communist. And while we don't see eye to eye politically, we have a good relationship. He admires my Western flair and style, and I respect that he is better than me at ping pong. It's a race joke. And he's like a survival dog. Like a lot of dogs have that natural survival instinct. Like I could let him go in the woods and come back in a year, and he would be like the head of like a woodchuck family. He gets it. He knows how to survive. So it's me and Nanook, and we're living our life, fighting vampires. And about 3 years ago, I met and fell in love with a young lady. And for her anonymity, let's call her Sarah. That's her actual name. So both of my childhood goals are accomplished. But there's one thing I didn't count on, and it is that Sarah also has a dog. She has this pit bull named Digit. And he lacks all those survival skills that I just mentioned with Nanook. He tries to kill himself constantly. Last summer he ate a garbage bag full of corn cobs, and when we had to have emergency surgery done, he was just like, shit, garbage food? Who left garbage food? He just will die if you're not around him to make sure he doesn't die. But he's a really sweet dog, and when we start dating, my dog being a chow and Digit being a pit bull, and they're both males, they fight. And so we have to really quick learn how to break up dog fights, because it can get really bad. And when your dogs are fighting, you get a lot of input from people. People want to help you. And all of our friends were telling us what to do. One friend said, you use a bullhorn when they're fighting, and it shocks them out of it. You know, another friend said, dump a bucket of water on the dogs, and it'll snap them out of the fight. The strangest piece of advice we got was from our friend Jen. She said when her dogs are fighting, she will stick her thumb up the dog's ass, and it will shock it into stopping the fight. Remind me not to get in a fight when Jen is around. My second thought was, how do I know that this isn't how she deals with everything? Waiter, I'd like some vegan options, please. I'm sorry, ma'am, we don't have any vegan options. How about now? So, since our dogs aren't getting along, we do what any rational couple would do. We move in together. So, this is like the equivalent of like if Muhammad Ali's mom and Joe Frazier's dad fell in love and moved into the same house and they lived there together. They're gonna fight. And we moved to Baltimore because we want to die. We're looking for a place to live and we started watching The Wire and we were like, look at all these boarded up houses. Plenty of places to hide dead bodies. Perfect place to raise a family, you know? So, the first week we're in Baltimore, I'm driving around and I'm trying to secure a job and get everything set up, so I'm driving around, but I don't know my way through Baltimore. So I'm using my GPS. And for some ungodly reason, my GPS insists on dragging me through the scariest of scary Baltimore neighborhoods. You know it's bad when your GPS starts the command with, I double dare you. To turn left. Alternate route, GPS. Get some culture, Doug. You're a robot. I don't need culture, robot. So I'm driving around and I'm looking for a gas station. I'm about to run out of gas. I don't want to run out of gas. So I'm looking for a gas station, but every time I get to a gas station, it looks really shady. And every time I kind of pull up to one, like 3 dudes get off a car hood and like walk my way. And I'm not going to go to that gas station. So I'm like, I'm going to run out of gas. I got to find a gas station. So I find this gas station, and it looks all right. So I get out of my car, and I start pumping gas. I'm there 10 seconds, and a fight breaks out in the parking lot. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. Like, basically, it's the gas station attendant is kicking someone out of the gas station. And he's pushing them out of the gas station. These are 2 big men. And part of me was like, I should go. I should get out of here. I don't want to get shot. But there was a bigger part of me that didn't want to miss a really good gas station fight. So even though I was done pumping gas, I still stood there like I was pumping gas. I was kind of watching. And here's what was happening. The gas station attendant is pushing this man out, and the guy's going, "Put your hands on me. I wish you would put your hands on me. I'm going to call my lawyer. I'm going to own all this shit. I'm going to own this. I'm going to own this." I was like, hold on a second. Back up. You're a lawyer? Like, you're a thug. I'm going to call my lawyer is the adult equivalent of I'm telling my mom on you. You know, if you think about it, when you're a kid, your mom's your first lawyer. You get in trouble in school and you're like, I'm not saying shit until I talk to my mom. She knows how to handle this situation. Thugs don't go crying to their mommy. Mom, I was at the motherfucking gas station today, and this dude put his motherfucking hands on me. You hurt my feelings, mama. It doesn't happen. And so, I don't know what this guy was doing to get kicked out of the gas station. But I've been kicked out of a few places. Gas station's not one of them. What behavior is below gas station? What must you be doing so that people in a gas station go, hey, you can't do that in here. It's a gas station. You gotta be like opening bags of chips and just masturbating, watching Kino, like, what are you doing? So I don't know what he was doing with you. Probably an asshole. And I hate it when people say, I'm gonna call my lawyer. Like you have a lawyer. If you have money, you probably have a lawyer. If you don't have money and you got a lawyer, you're probably a criminal. And that's not and please don't call a public attorney my lawyer. That's our lawyer. And so, the funniest part though was that he was like, I'm gonna own all this, right? Like it was a grand prize. Tell him what he's won, Chuck. He gets to put his life in jeopardy day after day. That's like a punishment that you would get in lieu of jail time. This court sentences you to own and operate a gas station. Yeah, send me to jail. So the fight breaks up, and I drive home, and I'm still kind of thinking about this fight. I'm sitting at the computer, and I'm on the phone with a potential new boss. She's on the speakerphone. Phones have this new thing now, where the voice comes out like a speaker. Pretty sweet. If you guys have that option. But I'm talking to her, and I'm like, yeah, so Tuesday's great. I could totally come in Tuesday. And I look down, and Digit the pit bull is in Nanook's food dish. And Nanook is standing over him. And they're both in that moment where they're frozen, you know? And none of them gave me a heads up. And one of them could have at least been like, I'm gonna call my lawyer. I'm gonna know. I didn't get a heads up. And I didn't even have time to be like, no! And they just slam into each other, and they start fighting. And like an idiot, I don't know what it is about my dogs fighting. Like, I would never, ever jump into a dog fight. But when it's my dogs, the hillbilly in me just comes out. I could be like in a three-piece suit drinking Pinot Grigio and talking politics, and my dogs start fighting, and I just turn into a hillbilly. I cuss a lot, look, goddammit! Like, it's ridiculous. And so I jump on this fight, and I start yelling for Sarah. Sarah's my Johnny on the spot. She's always right there with me. So I start yelling, Sarah, help! I sound pathetic. Sarah, help me! And the dogs are making me sound like a Tyrannosaurus getting birthed. And the poor woman on speakerphone is like, hello? Are you okay? She doesn't know what's happening. She thinks I'm being murdered in the streets of Baltimore. Sarah, help me! She doesn't know whether to hang up and try to call the cops. So she's just on the phone and she's just listening. And where the fuck is Sarah? She's still not there. Here's where Sarah is. Have you ever, you know that moment when you just, and this is a little gross, but you have to shit really bad. And you don't know if you're going to make it or not, but you make it. And you're like, you feel safe. You know that moment where you're like, I did it. And you take that breath, and you start to, that's what she was doing, when she heard, Sarah heard a voice in her head, and the voice said, you got a choice to make. Do you want to be selfish and wipe your ass clean? Or are you going to be a hero? So she was a hero. She comes bailing down the stairs, and she grabs the dog. So now we both have the dog. She's saying, I don't know what to do, and I'm saying, I don't know what to do. And it's funny how the memory works, because right there, I heard this voice go ahead and stick your thumb up. I've never tried it couldn't work. And so I just made the decision. I gotta act fast. I let go from behind him, and I grab his tail. I grab Digit's tail. There's a lot of thoughts that go through your mind right before you stick your thumb up. I've never stuck my thumb up anything's ass. I don't know is it gonna give way like pegboard? Am I gonna have to wrench it in like leather seat cushions? Is he gonna grab me like a Chinese finger trap and not let go? I'm afraid. I don't have time. I just have to make a decision. And so I just do it. I just do it. And nothing. He doesn't stop. He kind of likes it. He fought harder. It's like when you're wrestling and you're a kid and your coach slaps you in the face. He's like, "Come on, brother, yeah." That was what I was like, "Come on, get him!" And so I do it, and then I look up and I catch Sarah's eyes, and I realize I didn't run this by her. I wasn't like, all right, thumb up the dog's ass on 3, ready? I just did it. And she was looking at me like, is that something that you do? know if I'm doing it right. I'm like nothing's working, so. And I didn't have time to consider what it would feel like if it didn't work. Because now there are two dogs fighting and I just have my thumb. And so finally Sarah jumps off, she runs and she grabs a blanket, she comes over and throws a blanket on the dogs, and we stop the fight. So if you were taking the test and you marked C, blanket, you pass. Where I marked A, stick your thumb on the So we're going to the fight, and I'm kind of staggering around the house, bewildered, and I'm washing my hand, and I hear this little voice go, "Is everything okay?" This poor woman on the phone. I have to sit down, like, "I'm so sorry, our dogs fight sometimes." She's like, "I thought you were being murdered." I'm sorry, but everything's all right, everything is fine. So, Tuesday. And so after that, they don't fight as much as they did, mostly because Nanook went ahead and got his lawyer, and he now owns all this shit, and legit was sentenced to own and operate a gas station. Thank you guys.